Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WDW Fan Zone Show. I am who I am, along with no, I'm Stuart Sternberg, and I'm joined by Darlene Nagy and John Maloney. And tonight we're going to talk about spending a day in Disney World in a park or parks without going on any attractions. Now, I know most people come down here, and what's the first thing they do? Run to the attractions. But this is kind of to tell everybody that there's so much to do at Walt Disney World in the parks. You don't really need to go on any attractions. In the event, you can't get on any attractions.
Mhm.
And January this year, the wait times have been quite high, considering it's a supposedly quiet time of year. So one of the things you can do is eat your day away. And we'll get into that. Now, of the four parks, there are any parks that you don't think, and I'm not talking about open to closing, but I'm talking about if you take an 8 hour chunk of the day, are there any of the parks that you can think of you would not be able to fill up your time without going on an attraction?
Would you restate that so I make sure I followed it correctly?
Okay. Is there a park of the four major parks at Walt Disney World that you don't believe you could fill up a day without going on an attraction?
Or I don't think I could fill up a day. So
Yeah,
I would have to go on an attraction somewhere to get through the day, is what you're saying.
correct.
I think I could make a go of it at any of the parks.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think if any park came close, it would be Animal Kingdom. But believe it or not, I think you could spend a lot of time doing a lot of different things without going on an attraction ride at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, and so when you say attraction, you mean something that has some sort of ride vehicle.
Correct. Ride vehicle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I, I think you could do it without going to see one of the shows like a Raiders and I'm sorry,
Well,
Indiana Jones and Disney's Hollywood Studios or Lion King and Animal Kingdom, but we'll get into that as we go.
right.
I think for the show's sake, just for the show's purposes, we'll allow that.
Hmm. Sure.
Let's start with the oldest park, Magic Kingdom. John, do you want to give us like something you would do in
Sure.
the park?
Sure. So something that I think that you could do that is an experience, a long-term experience. Well, so I'm going to have to see if I get a buy on this, but it's an experience that's been at Magic Kingdom pretty much since the beginning, and that is to visit Tom Sawyer's Island. Now,
Oh yeah,
so do we agree that the raft that you take over there is transportation and not a ride vehicle?
yeah, I would
Okay.
because
Yes.
your purpose is not to go on the attraction. It's although Tom Sawyer Island can be considered an attraction, it's not a ride attraction.
Right.
It's not Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, that's why I called it an
I
experience.
mean, Space Mountain.
Yeah, that's why I called it an experience because it's not a ride.
Right.
It is certainly an attractor, but I would call a dining, a nice restaurant, an attractor as well. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, you can take the raft over to Tom Sawyer Island. You can explore the caves. You can explore the bridges. You can explore what's the fort out there? Is that Sam Clemens or am I getting that mixed up with Disneyland?
I don't remember honestly.
Or there's a fort there. The
Hmm.
last I was there, you had some fake guns that you could aim and fire. But yeah, there's a lot to explore out there, and
Yeah.
it's typically not that crowded. And you can run into some places where you've got people ahead of you in the cave or people ahead of you on the rope uh, bridges. But generally, it's a refreshing change from going on attractions.
Yeah, it's a good place to escape the crowds, which is the show that we previously did. Yeah, Darlene, do you have anything that you'd like to do?
Well, if we're talking in Magic Kingdom, the one thing I like to do is to walk through all the shops. I love to
Hmm.
see what is new, what what might be on a reduced rate, if there's something that I'm going to like or buy for a gift. I love going in to watch the glass blower. He makes the most beautiful blown glass. I actually got my husband for our 25th wedding anniversary a Mickey and Minnie with a red heart that he engraved for me, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It's one of our treasured pieces. So that's one of the things I love to do is walk on those shops on Main Street.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great thing to do. And while you're on Main Street, another thing you can do, and this, you could spend hours doing this.
Oh,
Stare up and look at the windows and read everything that's on there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a million things you could do. Let's say we get at the park now let's take a step back. We get to the park. It's now park opening. The first thing I think you're going to do is spend time, and correct me if you're wrong, in the front there, because they bring out a lot of characters in the beginning when the park opens. There's a little parade or cavalcade that goes on. And then you work your way up Main Street, and you go into the shops and you take your time. You get a bite to eat at the bakery, or Darlene, she'll get her Starbucks.
Mm-hmm. She will.
Yeah, and you could spend a good hour to 2 hours just doing that, maybe even more, depending on how long you spend in the shops or even looking up at the windows.
and you mentioned looking for the characters on Main Street.
Mhm.
One of the things you can do in the whole park is to look for those character interactions. Right now, they're
Yeah.
they're a little bit different, but a lot of Disney World veterans like to get photos with the different characters.
Yes, they do.
So it takes time if you have to wait in a queue to get your turn, and the more characters you want to meet, the longer it takes. So just going around the park and getting those character photos, and on top of that, if you have the photo package, there are so many places where you can get your picture taken by PhotoPass photographers. You are making memories and collecting memories all at the same time. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
get to meet the characters, you get to go, you're in the park, you're feeling the energy, you're with your family or your friends, and you're getting together in different poses, and then actually getting to see the photos when they come back. That can fill a lot of time and provide a lot of fun at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great thing to do. And a lot of people have the misnomer that pictures with characters are for kids. Yes, kids absolutely love them, but I know a lot of adults, and there are two on this show right now, who would kill a kid to get a picture with a certain photographer, with a certain character. I am not one of those two.
So funny. So
Yeah,
funny.
He
I'm
just
just
threw us under the train.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, that's definitely something you could do. And when you get to the end of Main Street, there is, there are a number of restaurants there. One is a character meal restaurant, and that's Crystal Palace.
Oh,
So
yeah.
So and they serve breakfast. So actually, are they serving breakfast now? I think they are.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that either. I believe they are. Let's assume they are. That's a great way to relax or let's go there for brunch, relax for another hour or two, and spend time with Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Eeyore from a distance. Darlene's looking it up right
Lunch and dinner.
now. Okay.
No
Oh,
breakfast at this
yeah.
time.
And then you've got the plaza right across the street on the other side.
So hard to get into. I've been trying for months.
That used to be, I don't understand it because it's always been a great restaurant, but that used to be the restaurant. If you couldn't get into another restaurant
You could go to.
Right. You could just walk right in. I guess the word got out because everybody does love it so much.
No, sadly, we should not have talked about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
and
like
I did.
never. Yeah.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was just going to say we should never show our hand and give all our secrets away.
Exactly.
I
Ah.
I did take a look, and I was not correct, but I was close on the fort. The fort is Fort Langhorne, which was
Hmm.
Samuel Clemens's middle name, Samuel Langhorne Clemens.
I didn't know that. Wow. I didn't even know he had a middle name. But
I
Oh, you
didn't
didn't?
either.
Okay. So don't they say that in the American Pavilion when you watch the show? Don't they say that there? I'll have to pay. I'll have to pay
well,
attention.
if you're awake, I'm kidding. Yeah, I haven't paid close attention to that.
Okay.
Yeah. You can spend a lot of time by Cinderella's castle too. There's so much
Oh.
over there.
The stage show.
Mm-hmm.
And the stage show, well, that was part of my news article on
Yeah,
Tuesday.
that was one of my news items too. But that's okay.
But
You can have it.
but yeah, the stage show is coming back, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, we did mention that the stage show was coming back on a previous news show, but that was months ago. So I'm sure everybody forgot.
Yeah, no, it's actually coming back now, so this is
Yes.
going to be
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah. Don't say, you know what? Don't give everybody the date. Make them watch the show or listen to the show to find out.
Are Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom still active in Magic Kingdom with where they give you cards?
I think so. But
No,
they're
Or
not.
is that discontinued?
I thought that was discontinued like last year, if I'm not mistaken.
But I thought it was coming back with different cards.
We were trying to get cards. I don't know.
Oh.
We'll have to find out.
January 20th, January 24th, 2021, it closed.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like we tried going in just getting cards and stuff.
Okay. Well, don't expect to spend your day spending a lot of time tracking down Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom cards at the Magic Kingdom if you're not going to go on attractions.
Yeah, but you know what they
No.
can do instead? Look for hidden Mickeys.
Absolutely.
They could. Yes, hidden Mickeys are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just
So
looking at the flowers in the gardens is amazing too, because the horticulturists in Magic Kingdom and all of Disney, they just take such good care of all their greeneries.
They
It's
do.
beautiful. Ah,
I wish those landscapers were the landscapers where I live.
me too.
Well, they could be if you paid as much as Disney does.
This
Yeah,
is true. This
I'm
is
sure.
true.
Yeah.
There are also tours like Keys.
Yes,
Keys to the Kingdom,
Mhm.
which is definitely a tour that I would recommend.
Mhm.
And you
I
get
have not done that.
a lunch with that too.
Oh, do you?
Mhm.
See, now I'm interested.
Yes, I remember that. We did get lunch with that.
But you'd have to skip the easy access to one of the attractions. Like they might take you into the back entrance to the Haunted Mansion. So you'd have to forgo some of the value of your tour if you did Keys to the Kingdom.
But then you're going on an attraction, and
That's what I'm saying. You'd have to forgo going on the attraction.
yeah.
So that's part of the value you get out of taking the tour.
Yeah. The reason I haven't done it, and I think I've mentioned this before, is I don't want it to ruin the magic for me. But as I get older, I'm not dead yet, but as I get older, it's something that it is on my bucket list for something that I do want to do at some point in time. Hopefully before it's too much money.
So you've never seen the Utilidors?
No,
Yeah,
only
okay.
on video,
Oh, okay.
and not even that much of it.
I don't think it ruins the magic. I think it actually, personally, I think it enhances the magic because you know a bit more about the attention to detail and the lengths to which Disney goes to make it a magical experience for
Oh,
you,
Exactly.
which helps you understand why it commands a premium price.
yeah, I'm sure you're right. It's just there are certain tricks, and I call them tricks that Disney does to create the magic that I don't want to know how they do those tricks at this point in
Understood.
time.
Understood.
That will change over time where I'll say, you know what, now the time has come. I do want to go see it. I want to learn more about how they do things. You know, like when I slow down and it's like I need a cane or no, I'm kidding.
When you end up being one of
Oh,
the residents at the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. Yeah, a few more gray hairs, I'll be there.
so funny. What about going and just like walking around the area and like the circus tents and stuff like that
Oh
in the
yeah,
back? You can do
the
all
shops there.
that. Yep, the shops there.
Well, you don't
Um,
miss Big Top treats. So
right.
sometimes it's hard to get in on Main Street to the Starbucks on Main Street. But if you go back to Big Top Treats, they've got some great sweets back there, cupcakes, and they've
Mhm.
got Rice Krispies treats and other things as well. And
Yes.
And you
you
know what?
don't have to worry about the queues to get in like you do.
Correct.
And
Mhm.
if you go into Tomorrowland, Cosmic Rays,
Mm.
even if you're not going to eat there, might just want to get a beverage. It's a great place to sit down. It's except for lunch hour, I should say
Yes,
meal hours.
the meal hours are
Yeah,
the tough times.
yeah, meal hours can be tough, but if you go off meal hours, it's a good place to sit down in an air conditioned space and just relax for a little while.
Mhm. Exactly, and listen to the music.
Yeah, yep. Another great place, you know, we're all over the place here. We're not really giving our listeners or viewers a sense of
A way to go.
a touring plan to go, but Adventureland is another
Oh,
great place to just
yes.
explore.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I guess the bottom line is, after you finish Main Street, you know, you take time for your meal, and then branch out and either go left or go right, and go to either Tomorrowland or to Adventureland, and then work your way to um, Frontierland and New Adventureland,
New Adventureland,
New Frontierland,
New
no,
Fantasyland.
New Fantasy.
Yes.
Oh my God,
He's
shoot
starting
me!
again, isn't he?
Oh, just shoot
He
me!
really needs this cruise we're going on.
Yeah, and I've been getting a lot of sleep lately. The problem is I've been getting too much sleep. So I'll sleep for like an hour or two during the day. And then at night, and I'm doing that because at night I'm up till 3, 4 in the morning because I can't sleep.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
And it's all because of the cruise. I keep thinking about the cruise.
I know, I'm so
Mm.
excited.
For those of you who have not listened to our previous shows, we're all of us on the podcast, except for Jess and Kurt, are going on Lou Mangello's WDW radio cruise, which leaves this week. This freaking week. Hopefully with us.
Hopefully with us.
Oh, being so very careful, being very,
Yeah.
very careful.
Yeah,
Wearing very uncomfortable, too tight of masks.
Oh God. We have to go to two more stores. We're waiting later in the week before my son comes down to take care of the dog. So yeah. Where were we? Oh yeah. So let's say you go to Adventureland first. You work your way around there. You can spend a lot of time there. There's God, why can't I think of the name of the tree?
Tree of Life. Oh no, I'm sorry.
No.
You're talking about the Liberty Tree. Are you
No,
talking about in Liberty Square?
no, I'm talking about we're still in Magic Kingdom.
Well, that's Liberty Square.
And we're over in Adventureland.
Okay.
Why can't I think of the name of the
Oh,
tree?
you're talking about the Swiss Family Treehouse.
That's it. The Swiss Family. Yeah. You can spend time. I wouldn't consider that in a trek because it's not a ride. So it's something you could walk up and spend time going up there if it's not too crowded. There's shops there. There's a sunglass place if you need sunglasses. What else is there? You have the Pirates of the Caribbean shop. That's nice to explore.
Where's the shooting arcade?
That's in Frontierland.
Frontierland.
Right near Pecos Bills and Country Bear Jamboree.
Yeah, that's a reminder of one of the things you can do with your kids if you have your kids with you and you're trying to spend the day off of attractions, is to take your young princess to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
Yes, absolutely.
Or to the barbershop up front.
Or the barbershop. Yes, I need to do that sometime.
Yeah. Do they cut my hair too? Because I could use some pixie dust.
I think they would. As long as you're willing to pay whatever price they charge, and I don't know what that is.
It's inexpensive, relatively speaking.
How much is a haircut there now?
The Harmony Barbershop, is that what it is?
Yes.
Right. I've never had my hair. Well, that's why I've said I'd like to do that sometime. I've never had it. Well, now right now, it doesn't. Well, they wouldn't have any times available today, certainly. So I'd have to take a look at another day. But they are. Are they? I'm sorry. Are they open? I thought they were.
I think the last time I was there, I saw it open.
Well, I just did a bunch of polling of some days in February, and it said no times available. So it makes me wonder, or unless you can't do it that far ahead of time. Yeah. I looked in February, March. I just bumped around all kind of different days, and I was not able to find a day that had times available. So you either can't
temporarily close. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so I was wondering with the with current conditions whether they were available to be open.
Yeah, that's temporarily closed.
Okay. All right. So I guess I'll have to wait.
Yeah. I'd like to know what the prices are for a haircut there.
$19 plus tax. Sorry, adult haircuts starting at $19 plus tax. So that
is relative.
That's good.
When I get mine cut today.
When I lived in New Jersey, I was paying, I think it was $16. This is pre-pandemic. Since then, I've had somebody else cut my hair for free.
I just did his today too.
Yeah, I got my cruise haircut.
You got a cruise cut for the cruise. The cruise cut.
Yeah, a cruise cut. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that is something else to do. And yeah, they do men and women's hair. They don't discriminate. They will cut anybody's hair at any time for anyone when they're open.
Wow, nice.
That's a good price. $19 for Disney.
Oh my gosh,
they'll open up. It'll be, hey, we heard they said it was a cheap price. Let's raise it. We're going to make it $39.99 now.
Yeah. Now they certainly they don't require it, but you might certainly consider giving a gratuity.
You should. If somebody's taking the time to cut your hair, give them a nice tip. I know in Florida they say 18%. Give more. It's nice to give a little more if you can afford it. Is there anything we haven't mentioned in Magic Kingdom? I know there's got to be a lot of things.
Well, we didn't talk about. You talked about the cavalcades and certainly if there are parades, but the nighttime shows. So if you make it till the later hours of the park, you can watch the Enchantment, the current nighttime show.
Yep. Yeah. and soon there will, and I'm sure I'll bet you Darlene has this in her news notes too. The parade will be beginning again.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, that's okay. I have it in mind.
Oh, the parade.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the cavalcades and the parades.
Yeah. Okay.
Hang on, somebody wants to ring the doorbell, and I don't want him to ring the doorbell. Cute little four-legged guy.
Yeah, Darlene has 2
Cogsworth.
dachshunds. And
Yes,
I can't, it gets streaky where we'll go through 3 or 4 shows where they're ringing the doorbell and she's got to take him out during the show. And then she'll go 3 or 4 shows where they leave her alone.
I know. Come on. Go on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. The nighttime entertainment, it's, I think it's rare when somebody goes to the park and doesn't want to go on an attraction, but it does happen. And I'm not talking about Florida residents. But there are people that come from overseas when they can come that will spend a significant amount of time, and their priorities aren't to be on an attraction some days when they're in the parks. It's to explore and eat and enjoy everything else.
Right. Or maybe you've been there enough times, and on a given day, you don't want to go through the trouble or the time to wait in queues to get on some of the attractions. You've been on them before, and you just want to get a different experience, a little more laid back, a little more relaxed, less pressure.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Absolutely.
True.
Yeah.
You can always go around and test out the Aloha Isle, the citrus one, and you can go to near Pinocchio's Village House and try the lime or whatever flavored Dole Whips they have in the parks too.
Yep.
Yeah, don't wait for a meal. You can always find a snack in between meals to keep you going.
Oh, goodness, yes. There's been times that we haven't even eaten a full meal and just ate snacks.
Yeah.
Like it's more meals. If you just have snacks every 2 hours, you can eat more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something you could do in Epcot.
Showcase,
especially during their festivals.
Right.
Let's go to when I say the other 2 parks, I mean, let's leave Epcot for last. Let's do it quickly because we're going to have a time problem here if we don't. Let's go to Animal Kingdom first, and then we'll go to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Just some of the things you can do instead of going on attractions if you're there during the day. In Animal Kingdom, oh boy, there's so much. You can just explore the animals. You can spend hours just doing that and nothing else.
Right. In multiple locations, either
on
the trails like Kurt discussed in the other show on
Gorilla Falls,
Discovery Island,
Yep.
Gorilla Falls, the Maharaja Jungle Trek. There's the monkeys that are outside on the path into Asia before you get to Expedition Everest. Just the animals on the way into the park, walking up the hill before you get to the bridge going over to the Tree of Life. There's a number of animals in enclosures just along the path.
Yeah, and then there's also the cruise. You see how much I'm thinking about the cruise? The cavalcades along the water that travel throughout. That's always fun to see. There's a number of dining options there. There's a lot of, if it's not a brutally hot day, it's great. It's almost like being in another country, sitting outside and having a meal, where you can take your time and just relax and enjoy your food, because the atmosphere there, you'd never know you were in a Disney park sometimes, the way everything is set up. Where the Yak and Yeti, not the dine-in, but the counter service Yak and Yeti part, it's beautiful to sit on the back there. It's secluded. That's when it can get crowded there too, but
it can, but it's not overly crowded.
Right. Right. Unless you go there like at lunchtime or at dinner time.
Same thing. You always want to eat in Walt Disney World on the off hours. So go at like 10:30, 11,
Yep.
2, 2:30, 3, you know.
Absolutely.
It's the best time to go.
Yep. Yeah. The Lion King is there, as we all know. That's a good people eater. If you're counting that, for those listening, if you say, "Hey, that's an attraction," believe me, there's a lot you can do without even going to see that.
Well, and you got the Raha. Oh wait, what's the tiger name?
Maharaja Jungle Trek. Yeah.
Yes, thank
We
you.
mentioned that.
Every time I hear Maharaja, I think of the Three
Maharaja.
Stooges. There was a skit they did with the Maharaja, which was brilliant.
It was.
Yeah.
There's certainly other shows, other big shows beyond the Festival of the Lion King. There's
the bird show. The bird show I love.
The king, or with the Winged Encounters, the Kingdom Takes Flight.
Mm-hmm.
If that isn't a mouthful.
Yes.
Also, by where the 2 shops are when you get down the road when you enter. Actually,
oh yes.
There's always somebody that when I always not always, but like lately there's been somebody there with some birds.
Right.
Just showing everybody, that's wonderful to stand and watch, and it doesn't get too crowded there either. For some reason, people just walk right by.
Just getting a chance to walk around the Tree of Life itself is time consuming, looking at all the different carvings and everything in that.
Spotting them, right. Yeah, you have to spot some of the animals that are carved into the Tree of Life. You have to take some of those special trails. I remember one time my wife wanted to see the manatee. We found where it was, but we could not see it just standing around on Discovery Island. We had to go back a particular trail and get to a certain vantage point to see it. Or you could go through the queue if you were going to enter A Bug's Life, and you get to see a lot more. You have to bypass A Bug's Life if we say that that's technically an attraction, or whether that's a show, I don't know. But yeah, just to be able to see them all takes time, and
it does.
You could do your research ahead of time to know where to go to see the animals that you like.
Yeah, there's one in the queue for It's a Bug's Life that we took pictures of our kids from the time they were like knee high to a grasshopper till they were grown, with that little alcove. I can't pronounce it.
Yes, you said it right.
I did. Oh God, I just feel like I'm tongue tied tonight. Where the gorillas there, and so you have from the time they're tiny to when they've grown. We did the same thing in the Magic Kingdom where the kids could put their head through the guillotine.
Oh,
so we've got that from the time they were very little to they're much older too. But those are fun pictures to have for a family. So stop and take pictures with your kids. If you're not there with your kids, take pictures with the characters. And there are characters that roam around Animal Kingdom too. One of the characters is coming back too. I forgot the character now. That's been gone for a while.
Kevin?
If I think of it, I'll mention the name.
Is it Kevin or no?
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes.
Okay.
Kevin.
Yeah. So a lot to do there. Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Oh, just one important one that
sure.
You didn't mention, I think, is Pandora.
Oh
yes, just walking
around Pandora.
Walking around Pandora, both during the daytime and at nighttime.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, at night especially. I completely forgot. At night, it's a completely different area.
Right.
The way it lights up. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The ground and everything. It's just amazing.
My favorite counter service restaurant is in Pandora.
Satuli Canteen.
Yep. Yep.
That's a great place to sit and
eat. Yeah. Now, in Disney's Hollywood Studios, is there anything else you want to mention before we go over Disney's Hollywood Studios?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. In Disney's Hollywood Studios, you could spend, I think, a month in Star Wars land, or then and go no place else, because there's so much to see there. There's so much detail.
So much detail, right?
Yeah, but let's get back to that, because we know there's a lot there, and we can go a little more detail on later. But there's a lot to see there. When you walk down the street, there's all the shops. What is it, Hollywood Boulevard?
Both sides, yep.
Yeah.
And then there's Sunset Boulevard too.
Yes, and Sunset Boulevard, a lot to do there, a lot of shops.
Fairfax, where you can eat.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And
Walt Disney Experience, One Man's Dream.
Oh, yes.
Yep. The Indiana Jones Show, Beauty and the Beast. There's a lot to do there without going on a single ride attraction.
And those cavalcades are really good. The Pixar one is amazing.
Yeah.
Now that there's going to be a new Pixar at Sea,
Yeah.
Disney Day at Sea coming up in 2023. We discussed that on our new show last week.
Yep. Yeah. A lot going on.
They have a popular Starbucks there. Darlene
They do the trolley. Yes. And that's where they have, where Storybook had my world famous carrot cake cookie. I can get that at the trolley. I love that carrot cake cookie. They even have specialty ones. They had a red velvet one for Christmas. I wasn't there this year during Christmas, but last year.
Yeah. When my daughter was in, boy, I had to wait in line with her in Starbucks. It was a long line in there. I am not a Starbucks fan. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts fan. But she loves Starbucks, so I had to wait there with her to get her Starbucks. But she enjoyed it. That can get crowded, that place.
Yeah. It's easier to get in there than it is on Main Street. Would you agree, Darlene?
Yes, definitely.
I haven't tried the one on Main Street at all in a long time.
Well, the thing is that I really wish they would bring where you could do your mobile order. It would make their lives a lot easier than waiting in the lines. The one in Magic Kingdom for Starbucks, you're all the way around. Sometimes that side where we told you the seats are in Magic Kingdom, it's all the way around there to get in. And then you have a intertwining, same thing at Animal Kingdom. Theirs can get very twiny inside as well. The one in Hollywood Studios seems to be very good. It just
it's organized. It's just a lot of people.
It just seems like it's very organized.
Yeah,
it doesn't take long to get your drinks either.
The day I was there with my daughter, it did, but that was right after Thanksgiving. So
one of the things that's unique to Disney Hollywood Studios is there are a lot of hidden references to movies in there. So there's references to The Rocketeer and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. There's little hidden interactions, like pulling on the rope at the well outside of the Indiana Jones Spectacular.
Yeah, that's right. And over by the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Train, or rail, whatever you call it.
Runaway Railway, yeah.
Railway, yeah. There's all the autographs and handprints
right
in the ground.
Right.
And spend time looking at that too.
Right.
Yeah. There's Toy Story Land. Just walking through there, it's an amazing place to see.
All of the detail.
Yep.
In Andy's backyard, right?
Oh yeah.
To think of yourself like a toy, because you're kind of at that level.
Yeah, or a kid looking for a toy. And soon there's going to be a barbecue place there.
Right. That sounds great.
Yeah. Another reason.
Can't wait to try that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think where else. Yeah, I know we have to get to Star Wars Land yet. Well, the Backlot Express. There's a
Mhm.
lot
Yeah.
of detail. It's not just the food, a lot of
Right.
detail
Oh,
there.
A
yeah.
lot of detail
All
there.
the decor, right.
Yeah,
Yep.
Pixar Place.
Or Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the movies.
Or just prime time, going and sitting in the
Bar.
lounge area
Yep.
is really nice.
Mhm.
Have a drink, enjoy, just watch everything going on. It's a lot of fun watching the interaction with the cast and the guests.
And the
It's
old
great.
time, right, the 50s decor from the
Mhm.
living rooms with the TV, and yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yep. All
And
right.
then even, like, the Brown Derby,
Oh,
they
yeah.
have the
Oh, yeah.
lounge
Memorabilia.
there, they have the outside there.
Mhm.
That's a great place to go.
Yep.
Even inside, we've eaten my husband and I have eaten numerous meals there. We love it.
Yeah. It's just great all around. Um, Even down by, and we mentioned this on the previous show, down by Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror,
Mhm.
the little food area there.
Fairfax.
Fairfax, yeah. Nice place to just sit and relax and have a bite to eat.
Mhm.
Um, there's a lot to do there still, even without going on an attraction. And once you get into Star Wars Land, you can get lost in there. And I mean, really, the detail in there, it really is like being on a movie set.
And if you can do added things like using your data pad on your phone
Hmm.
to interact with things around all of Galaxy's Edge, all of that too.
Yep. You can make a lightsaber.
Yeah, oh yeah, and a droid.
Yeah, you can get a great meal over there.
Mhm.
Why can't I think of the name of the
Docking
restaurant?
Bay 7,
Yes, yes, yeah. Just a lot to do.
Toronto's Roasters.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a fun place. It's like being in. It's like actually being in on a different planet, going through the market there. And just a fun place all around.
And they have some more of the walk around characters coming now, like the stormtroopers or
Hmm.
uh,
Mhm.
and
I've seen them, yeah.
Yeah, they do.
right
And you can see, yeah, there's a lot of distance. What do they call them? The character sightings, not meet and
character
greets.
sightings, right?
Yes, there's a lot of character sightings there too.
They have some fun photo pass pictures that you can have taken with the added Disney magic that they put into them
Mhm.
in different places.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's head over to the park with all the walls.
Oh,
They're slowly going down.
Yes, they are, and I do not mean that as a criticism. I really don't,
I do
because
have to go and
despite,
see it since they've taken some of them down. I have not seen it yet
yeah,
because of the cruise. I've been isolating,
yeah,
so
I know, me too. I had 3 other reservations for the parks that I canceled because of the cruise, just to play it safe. And
Mhm.
um,
Well, we can go back once we're here.
yeah, well, I've already got 3 booked once we
Do
get
you?
back. Yeah, or two in one in February, 2 in March, and I have 1 left that I can use, and I'm saving that for when I get back, like right
Mm,
when I get back, pretty much.
yeah.
Assuming I'll be in good health when I get back.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Oh, I'm talking about the food.
Oh.
oh,
I plan on
then you
ODing
still
on
want to.
food.
Well, you have to be able to get out and walk after that cruise.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
long if I can walk, I will be in the park to walk.
We should just walk around the ship.
Yeah, we could do that. Get
There's
some
a walking
exercise.
path outside.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I'll
I've
be running
walked
on it.
it. He'll be running, you and
Mhm.
I will be walking it.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yep, and there's a gym there.
I'm gonna be using it every morning doing my therapy, yes.
Yeah, but anyway, back to Epcot. There's still despite the walls, despite the fact that you're not going on any attractions anyway. There's just a lot to do there. Yes, most of it's food, but look beyond the food. God, I can't believe I'm saying that.
There's not just food. We've got the new, Club Cool, where we can go
Mhm.
and test all the drinks, and they're
Yep.
all very good. We've got the new store over there.
Yep.
We can go shopping there. There's a lot there.
Creation shop.
Yes,
Yeah.
the creation shop.
The aquarium,
Perfect.
the living seas. Just going into
Yes.
Oh
the
yeah,
aquarium.
absolutely. You walk in the back door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like every time I go in there, my intention is not to spend a lot of time there, and I spend a lot of time there
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much to see that
Oh my goodness.
it's just beautiful watching the fish.
Right. The fish, the manatees.
Yes. It's
Oh God,
absolutely
yeah,
gorgeous. Yeah.
yeah, yep.
Just
Uh,
sitting watching the waterfall over by the Journey into
yep,
Imagination too. The
yeah.
water over there is mind-blowing, just
Mm.
standing there. I'm glad they didn't take that out, you know.
Oh yeah. There's also you can go into um, what is it? The Odyssey. What was the Odyssey Pavilion?
Right.
Yes, yes.
The
And
Epcot experience.
yeah, yeah, you can see what's planned for Epcot, what's coming, and get a bite to eat there, cool off there. It's just a nice place to be. And then there's a lot of walking around you can do too. Just the gardens there before you even
Right.
get to the World Showcase. Just walk around and see the gardens. It's beautiful, the landscaping there, and sometimes you can find a character roaming around there too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you go during the Flower and Garden Festival, there are all of the topiaries.
Oh,
Yep.
I love the topiaries.
And if you go during the Festival of the Arts or Farts, there's a few things to do there. The coloring of the wall.
Hmm.
I know there's a name for it. I can't think of it, as usual.
I've never done that.
Just
It's
watching
fun.
them do the picture art on the ground is a lot of fun too. The chalk
Yeah.
art. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. And then when you get over to World Showcase, I mean, you can spend hours. You can spend the entire day in World Showcase just walking through the pavilions and
Going
maybe
through all-
grabbing a bite to eat here or there, or having a sit-down meal.
Mm-hmm.
Every country has its own little hideaway places. Like in Canada, you can
Mm-hmm.
walk down below to the right-hand side of the pavilion. You can, if you're on your way to Le Cellier, and you can go to the exit to the O Canada film. There's
Correct.
the waterfalls and the rock work there. Or Japan has its own gardens. You can walk up through the walkway back there.
Those are beautiful.
There's so much to explore. Back
Right.
in Morocco, I remember
Mhm.
Darlene. We were there one
Yes.
evening late. I think it's very magical when it gets dark there, and there's very few
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how much space there is to explore. Back in the
Correct.
pavilion
Yeah.
itself.
It's so peaceful. You could just go back there and like enjoy a conversation and not be disturbed.
Mhm.
It's
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
Absolutely. And we haven't mentioned Harmonious yet. That's another thing to do at night.
Mm-hmm.
If you're still there walking around, the best time to walk around World Showcase for me is at night. It doesn't have to be with a fireworks show. It's just walking around there, going from pavilion to, it looks so much different at night when it's all lit up. It's incredibly beautiful. There's the trains. Also, that's Kurt's favorite stop.
Kurt's favorite, yeah.
Spot to stop.
He would have mentioned that first.
Yeah, he would have. There's my favorite restaurant there, in park restaurant, Via Napoli.
Mhm.
Love that place. Then there's Beer Garden. You've got the restaurants in Japan Pavilion. There's a couple of French restaurants too. You've got the new restaurant. Was it Remy's over in the France Pavilion?
La Crêperie.
Oh,
La
the
Crêperie.
Creperie, that's right.
Yes. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Even the takeout window is very good.
Right. You can do
Yeah.
both.
Mm-hmm.
We had reservations there, and we had to cancel it because we canceled the park because that was one of the stops we were going to make before the cruise, but it was getting too close. We just said, you know what, we're not going to go.
Well, it gives you something to which you can look forward after the cruise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, if you get into a park after the cruise, maybe we could get together and stop in the evening as our second park for the day at Epcot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Just
get,
let me know which
get
day
some
and I'll
crap.
do it. I would love to do that.
Oh, food.
Yeah. I think when we get off that cruise, the last thing we're going to be thinking about is food. I'm going to be thinking about, okay, I have to go back on my diet.
Well, just stay away from carbs. Have a lot of protein.
That's what I've been doing. That for the last few years, it's like it's a version of, I guess it's called the Mayo Clinic diet, where you 12 days no carbs, 2 days you're off, and you can eat anything you want. Then it's back to the 12 days no carbs. So it does work with exercise. I can tell you,
Oh, yeah.
it works without exercise too, but it's much slower.
Yeah. And you need exercise, period, to
Yeah.
make your choices for nutrition and eating work better for you.
Correct.
Well, absolutely. But that's why the last few weeks have been crazy for me because, well, number one, the weather here hasn't been great. So I'm not walking anywhere really. We're trying to stay away from anyone and everyone.
Hmm.
So we're kind of hibernating in the house.
Yeah.
See, I at
What
least
you do
get
is
to
eat.
take the boys for a walk around the block, so I at least
Yeah.
get like 3/4 of a mile walk in. And then with my therapy, I'm doing at least a 20-minute workout a
Well, that's
day.
good. My
Yeah.
exercise has been taking the dog to the dog park. That's been my exercise, and an occasional walk if the weather's decent.
Well, yeah. In Epcot, if you're an annual pass holder, you could go to Epcot for an afternoon or evening or morning or whatever, just as a way to get exercise
Yep.
by walking around World Showcase.
Oh, yes,
You know,
yes.
That's been my plan since we moved down here, was to spend time in the parks, not going on attractions, but using it to walk around and get exercise.
In a what better environment
Hmm.
would there be to walk? That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
Run Disney likes to include World Showcase in a lot of their races because
Mhm.
there's so much to see, so much to look at while
Mhm.
you're running through there. Walking, same thing.
I have a neighbor, not to mention the other park, who goes to Universal to get some walking exercise in.
Right.
It's like whatever works. And
Mhm.
speaking of things that work, we haven't mentioned yet.
Uh-oh, somebody to work for you.
Who's sponsoring the WW Radio Lou Mangello Marvel Day at Sea cruise? Who?
And
Mouse
yeah, I
Fan
am a
Travel.
travel, right.
That's right, Mouse Fan Travel. The best, the greatest, the only travel planner you need today, tomorrow, or any day. They're simply the greatest there is. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You plan a Disney World vacation? Mouse Fan Travel. Did I say Disneyland or Disney World? Whatever. Well, Disneyland or Disney World. The only one to go with is Mouse Fan Travel. If it's a Disney cruise, Mouse Fan Travel. An adventure by Disney, Mouse Fan Travel. If you want to book a trip to a different theme park, another planet, another country, another world, anywhere you want to go, Mouse Fan Travel can get you there. You know what's great about Mouse Fan Travel? They sit down with their clients. When I say sit down, I mean over the phone or through email. They hear what they have to say. They learn about you so they can help you as best they can. You're not going to find customer service better than them anywhere in the entire world. Absolutely the best. Find out more about Mouse Fan Travel by going to their website, where they have great deals going on right now for Disney resorts and other great deals too for other types of vacations if you're not looking for a Disney vacation. And you can find all that information out at www.mousefantravel.com. That is www.mousefantravel.com. All right. Anything else we haven't mentioned yet in any particular? Yeah, go ahead, John.
we've talked about it in some of the other parks, but there are tours available in Epcot as well,
Oh yeah.
including one of the least expensive tours, the behind the scenes tour at
Mhm.
the Land Pavilion.
Yep. Yeah, I intend to do that one of these days too.
Yes, I would like to do that
We also
myself.
forgot there's one in Animal Kingdom that's also pretty popular.
Mhm.
Is that the Safari Trek Tour or?
Oh, the Wild Africa Trek.
Wild
Yeah.
African Trek,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
other end of the spectrum as far as cost.
Correct.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
But
It is. You're
it's
absolutely right.
if if you have enough Disney Visa dollars build up, or somebody gave you a great Christmas present of
Mhm.
Disney gift cards, it's a fantastic experience, and you get food with it too. They give lunch to you as well.
Yep. Yep, they do. Anything else anybody wants to mention before we end the show?
No,
I can't think of anything else. I think we've given our listeners and viewers a lot to think about.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you're watching us on YouTube, please remember to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. It helps us out a lot to
Mhm.
find even more viewers. All right.
Please.
We're going to be back Tuesday night with our news edition of the show. We may try to sneak. We're doing the show tonight because we're not going to be here to do the show later next week, but we might try to sneak another show in there between now and the time we leave for Lou Mangello's cruise.
Yes.
We'll see if we can. So until next time, be safe. Bye-bye.
I don't have a Disney tune for my playoff tonight, but since we've been talking about it so much, it's just a little clip from a well-known musical, and that's "Food, Glorious Food." See ya. Have a good evening.
Have a magical night. Stay safe and look for us on Tuesday night.